Good afternoon, everyone. I am joined by pro boxer Erik Bazinyan today, 25-0, 19 knockouts, wearing his Muhammad Ali sweater and getting ready for his next fight. Erik, thank you very much for joining today. Please tell us where you are because you're not in the typical location.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I'm very happy to do an interview in United States because I currently live in Canada, Montreal. And thanks to Golden Boy and I have the Tiger Management for this opportunity. And thank you for inviting me for the interview. Yeah, now I'm the quarantine is almost over here. It's still well, it's over. Slowly everything is opening up, but we just started our trainings like the boxing, conditioning. We try to do it outside as much as possible. The running and slowly. It's been this the second week. It starts today.
Which gym do you train in Canada, in Montreal?
Here I train. My coach is. We opened the. He opened a new gym. It calls. It's Marc Ramsey, my coach. It's his gym. It calls Marc Ramsey's Boxing Academy. He trains only the pro fighters as me, David Lemieux, Arthur Beterbiev, the world champion unified. We have Eleider Alvarez, who was world champion too, knocked out Kovalev. We have Arslanbek Mahmudov, new heavyweight prospect, and a lot of up and coming young fighters.
Yeah, you have a lot of greatness around you. You're talking,
Yeah,
and a lot of the hardest punching fighters, perhaps in the sport.
yes.
Beterbiev and Lemieux are considered some of the better knockout artists in
Yes.
the sport. You recently made a big splash in Los Angeles, and for those who watched the Zone on Virgil Ortiz's card when you had a devastating knockout of Saul Roman. For those who haven't seen you fight yet, how would you describe your fighting style?
Well, I'm a bit like I'm a humble person. I don't like to talk about myself, but I will tell the reality what people say, what I know I'm doing in boxing. My style is like I'm a smart fighter. I have a great jab. I like to stay smart during the fight. I have a good boxing IQ. Um, I don't just fight like to just win. Like I try to do everything first of all to win, but my style is like I'm a technical fighter, but I can do everything. Like for me, I concentrate on being a full accomplished fighter because those type of fighters like Hopkins was, like Oscar De La Hoya, even from Golden Boy, both of them. I'm proud that they are the president and. So, like, you have to be fully accomplished fighter to be great in boxing and to make history. So I try to do the best and to do the same to have that in my career, So I can fight technical, I can brawl too, I can punch too. I have a good power too. So I try to be everything in the same line, not just to brawl or not to well, every fighter is different, but me, I concentrate on that.
Right, and you're only 25 years old, and you've already had 25 fights. Your development, it appears, is on the fast track. You made your U.S. debut on the Canelo Alvarez undercard when you fought Daniel Jacobs. So you've already had two fights in America. When can we see you next in the ring? I know the boxing calendar and schedule is coming back together. Do you plan on your next fight being in Canada or the United States, considering the pandemic right now?
Well, I was lucky. I had I this in 2020. I did one fight here in Canada in end of February, and it was a good statement fight. He was a tough opponent, and I stopped him in the 6th round. And after that, we hit the number 25 win, and we decided that my age is there, 25 years old. Like the age I'm in the peak time starts now, and I have I have enough experience to start experience fights, like big fight. We didn't want to fight right away. We had the opportunity to fight to the world for the world title, but we didn't want because we didn't want to rush because we want to be in the history, like to become a champion and stay a champion for a long time, and not just to fight for the title, you know. And so after my last fight, we wanted to do a step up fight, like to start having names, you know, decent names in the States. So the plan was to fight like in May, undercard of Canelo, but the pandemic, everything started, and we went back like 6 months, all the world, all the boxing. So for next, with my manager, we had a discussion. So we are hoping to do a September in United States, one of the Golden Boy show. So we'll see how is it gonna go.
Uh-huh. And how about in Montreal? Do you plan on fighting in Canada sometime in the future, perhaps in July? I heard July 18 is a target date that you might be considering for.
Well, well, the I've Tiger Management, they are planning to do a show in July in here in Montreal, in Quebec. But the thing is, we're gonna do like a no fans show, and I think all over the world is gonna be like that this year. Just online on TV, and but the thing is, like I can't because it's gonna be only 6 fights, and we have a lot of fighters, and we can't bring other guys from another countries for now because we can do like local fights, you know, like Montreal to Toronto, another city, like versus, you know, like two fighters. So good
Right.
fights, but on my level, like we want to do a step up, you know, like there is not somebody on my way that is gonna bring me one step up, or it's gonna be like a good fight or interesting fight for me and to get experience from. So I don't want to do a fight that I supposed to do when I was 7-0 or 5-0. So we'll see. We'll wait and we'll discuss with Golden Boy, and hopefully in September I'll do a fight in United States.
And you're competing in a very stacked division. The 168-pound division in boxing is perhaps one of its bests, and you are ranked by the WBO as the number 4 contender. You are ranked by the IBF as the number 15 contender. Who are some of those opponents that you think you are ready for? Who are some of these fighters in the step-up fight you would like to fight?
Well, last year, I think in October, November, like few months ago only, I hit the number one spot in WBO, and I got offered to fight for the like obligatory fight. Uh, like the winner is gonna fight Saunders, the champion.
The
So
Eliminator, yes.
eliminator, sorry, yeah. So because here it's in French, and I forgot the word. Yeah, so elimination fight I supposed to fight, but like the time was close, and I broke my finger in May. I fought in the States in Vegas, so the preparation time was like not much, you know, and I wasn't for a serious fight like that. I couldn't take a risk and 4 weeks of training, you know, because my finger was broken.
Hmm. So when you come back in September this year,
Yeah.
who would you like to fight at 168?
Seriously, I don't know. I'm not the type of a guy who calls out like other fighters for now in this position. Maybe when I become a champion or close to that, maybe yeah. But until now, I haven't done it. I leave it to my team. So they are great in deciding and choosing my opponents, my managing my career. So I trust them, and I leave it to my manager Camille Estephan, my coach Marc Ramsey, and to Golden Boy. So they gonna do everything. So in the right time, I become a champion. So I don't know. I'm ready to fight any top fighters in top 10. So let's see what's gonna come next.
Right. One specific fighter in the top 10 is your teammate and fellow Armenian, David Lemieux. Uh,
Yeah.
Talk to me about the relationship you have. I know you're both proud Armenians. You both train in the same gym, same coach, same town. Talk about that friendship you have with David. How is that?
Yeah, we are friends. We train together. It's been 2, 3 years. We know each other more long time, but it's been 2, 3 years we train together, and the relationship is great. He's a great person. He's a hardworking boxer, and in this position of his career, he had his ups and downs. But now I've never seen him this dedicated and motivated in trainings and his discipline in life. So I think he's doing his best to become a champion again, and I'm sure he will because he has the punching power and the wanting, the will.
Right. And you, as
We
a
do a lot of sparring sessions together too, because we a lot of super middleweights, light heavyweights in our gym. So we all like roll together. There's a lot of young prospects too, like guys like 10-0, 12-0, 8-0. So Kazakh guys, Russians. So we all roll together, and it's a lot of good experience.
have you stepped in there with Beterbiev yet?
Yeah, I did like 4 years ago. I did one of his training camp, like one of his fight. I did like 3 weeks of sparrings with him. It went pretty well.
Yeah.
It was tough because he was eating hard, but it was a great experience. Like I learned that that somebody can really hit in the ring, what it's gonna feel, and in my next fights when somebody of my opponents is gonna hit like a rock, like I'm not gonna stress or panic too much.
Right.
Like I felt it.
As as a young Armenian man, you're also in a position to perhaps be the next torchbearer for the country as far as the next Armenian champion. The days of Vic Darchinyan, Arthur Abraham are gone.
Yes, yes.
They are no longer actively fighting. Vanes Martirosyan got close to becoming a world titleist, but never fully seized the opportunity. Do you think you're going to be the next great Armenian fighter?
Yes, of course. I'm sure I will, because I'm not saying that like in an arrogant way, but I'm gonna do everything to do it, and I am doing. And I'm gonna make everybody, whoever know me or don't know me, like they just see my fights in Armenia. I have a lot of good fan base. They support me. They are proud of me, and I'm not gonna let them down.
Hmm. How did your travel to to Canada happen? I know you were born in Yerevan, but your pro career kicked off in Canada in 2013. How did that arrangement come to be?
Well, I came to Canada in 2011 with my family to do a living. Like we moved here, then I fought like nationals, then Golden Gloves. So then I was 18 years old, and I was beating up in sparring like two pro fighters like in the gym. So I had the talent, I had the skills. So I just the amateur boxing was, and the nationals were like 4 years later. So I just decided to turn professional.
And you compete at 168, which is a division
Yes.
Arthur Abraham was a champion in as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You grew up watching his fights? Was he someone you looked up to as a young?
Yeah, when I started, I looked up to him, to Big Darchinyan, and they helped me a lot. Like they motivated me, as all the Armenians, they were proud of them. Like they were the national heroes. So on TV, when they were having fights, all the Armenia was awake in the morning and watching their fight. So it gave me motivation, like, oh, I want to become one of like them.
have you had a chance to train with some of the other Armenian boxers here in Los Angeles yet? Perhaps at the Glendale Fighting Club or at Freddie Roach's Wildcard Gym. There's a
No,
big stable of Armenian fighters who
yeah,
also
I
train
just
there.
I've been in Glendale Fighting Club, the GFC, the MMA, but I've put some rounds with Edmund Shabazian. He's in UFC now. He's a great athlete, and my friend is there also, like Melsik Bagdasaryan. So it's a great gym and a lot of Armenian vibe there. So when I go there, I always train there.
Mhm. And with you, uh, do you see yourself from here on out as specifically a fighter in the United States? Are the days of development in Canada done? Do you see yourself perhaps moving to the United States for training, or do you foresee yourself training in Canada and fighting in the United States?
Well, the thing is, my gym and my coaches, my manager, my promoter, they are here and in Montreal, and my family is here too. So that's why I'll stay here, train here, and fight in United States. But when I fight, always I stay like 2 3 weeks. I enjoy. I love LA, but I have plans like after when I retire from boxing, I'm gonna move to LA to live.
Yeah, definitely a big Armenian population in Los Angeles. That's where I live.
Yes,
I'm Armenian as well. It's something where the boxing culture is very prevalent here. A lot of
yeah, yeah,
upcoming fighters. I know Freddie Roach himself is training 4 Armenian fighters right now. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
at Wild Card, Gord Yerevan, Narek Apgaryan,
Yeah, I know them.
Art Hovanesian, Aram Amirkharyan. He's training. He pretty much has half of Los Angeles under in his gym just himself.
Yeah.
Have you been to Wild Card yourself?
No, I haven't been, but next time I'm gonna go.
Hmm. And now, going back to your next fight, I know you said you don't like to call out names and you let your team take care of that. Is there someone that you would like to fight? Who do you think would be a good test for you? Is there you really think would be a great way for you to jump up and make a splash into the scene?
Really, I don't know because I just want to fight somebody who has a name, and so it's gonna make a noise, statement fight that I'm gonna look spectacular. So everybody gonna say, "Oh, who is this guy?" And so after that, I hope like after 1 2 fights, I'll fight for the with the world champ. Really, I don't know. Like there's a lot of fighters now in super middleweight, but I'm not sure. Let's see what the future is gonna bring.
Well, the future is looking bright for you. The future is looking bright for the sport as we inch towards a return in the coming weeks. Looking forward to seeing you back into the ring as you continue your ascent in career. And hopefully,
Thank you.
the next challenge that you have is a formidable one for the fans to see what you bring to the sport and how you can create a legacy for yourself, as you like to say, the next great Armenian champion.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you soon after one of my fights.
Thank you very much, Erik. Shot.